I started understanding a lot of connection between your gut health and your brain development. I started a lot of things like probiotics. I removed everything processed from the house, so everything would be fresh. I changed all her toys. I changed the way we were speaking to her and everything. And in 6 months, she was talking.
Welcome! You're watching YanaTV, where we have our authentic heart-to-heart conversations with change makers of Asia. My name is Yana Fry, and today with us in the studio we have Komal Syal, who is a mom of 3 girls, and her first daughter had speech delay. And our conversation today is going to be about what happened, how did she deal with that, what was her experience, how did she overcome it, and so that you can do that too. Komal?
Hi.
Thank you so much for agreeing to talk about your experience with your daughter.
Sure.
So tell me more about that.
So, my daughter was sort of born literally in transit between London and Singapore when we were moving
and
relocating.
No, on a plane?
I actually took the flight on the 36th week and 5th day. So it was like just basically a day before you're not allowed to fly because we were relocating from London to Singapore. In any case, she was born there. Everything seemed all right. But I think post 1 year, 1.5 years, we started figuring out that, she's not really speaking much. And up until almost 3 years, and I got pregnant with twins that time, she would just make a lot of sounds and, she would barely even say mama or something. And being the first child, obviously all alarm bells were on and we had a number of other friends having children of similar age and, they would yap and talk full and so I would feel quite stressed about it. And then when I was pregnant with the twins, because it was a high-risk pregnancy, them being identical twins, I just the fear really took the better of me because I was thinking, what if the twins are not normal and then she's not normal? So I decided to take her, to the usual centers as people recommend over here. And a lot of them I thought were very commercial, some of them branded her, oh, I think she's on the spectrum, she's autistic, she doesn't do this, she has no eye contact. Went to a few, I started getting even more stressed. And then I just decided, I'm just going to follow my own mom's instinct and not go through all this. I did meet a few good speech therapists, but that was more, I think, they taught me more a way of parenting as compared to actually teaching her speech. And there are a lot of little things that I picked up from everyone. But I joined this forum called Nutritional and Naturopathy in Singapore. And from there, I started understanding a lot of connection between your gut health and your brain development. And I started a lot of things like, probiotics. I removed everything processed from the house. I removed anything and everything that could have, that would be in the freezer. So everything would be fresh. I changed all her toys. I changed the way we were speaking to her and everything.
Toys in a sense that
those sound-making toys and those little.
You removed them.
Removed them completely. So anything that was only educative, replaced it with different types of, big kind of books and albums and all those little. They used to get those little DVD players, where the kids would get glued and they could eat. Removed that. Started talking to her while eating. Removed things like microwave, and I still don't have a microwave in the last 13 years. And, all of your aluminium, lead kind of utensils, everything of iron, steel, everything. And in 6 months, she was talking and doing everything like a regular, normal kid. And I realized that how...
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, and of course, and in my way of parenting, a lot of it was very visual. I used to take her out, I used to draw a circle on the pavement and I used to jump in and I used to say in and then out and then, jump on the stool and say, up and down. And that's how I taught her all the prepositions. And a lot of things which were, I would just take her out and spend half a day with her. And this was, by the way, by then my maternity leave. So I used to leave the twins at home and take her out for 2-3 hours and just tell her, this is the building, this is this, and teach her everything like that, very visually. And of course, I think a change in the diet completely made a lot of difference, and all of those probiotics and all that. So I am therefore, and I'm a huge believer of not giving kids antibiotics. And I think one of the issues was that at 1 week she was given antibiotics. And I feel that probably that was the biggest reason why her speech was delayed, because she had some eczema on the skin. So as a result, actually, my twins till date have never taken antibiotics. I mean, they're 13 years.
Right?
They're 13 years old. Yeah, I mean, I would, unless and until it's something really major, I would not give them a steroid, antibiotic, nothing. So a lot of those things you don't know as a first-time parent, I think, and definitely, the challenge of her, not speaking for so long, it just, makes you do things which are out of the box, I think.
This is what you did for her to be able to speak, and I'm so glad she's doing it right now. What did it do for you? How did you manage your own anxiety and your own fears around it? I can't actually imagine peer pressure, social pressure, people pointing fingers or feeling awkward among friends, and they not knowing what to say and you don't know what to say. So how did you deal with that?
I think a lot of my sanity was there because I was working, and I used to, either I would at that point in time spend time with her or I would be working. So but of course I will be lying if I didn't feel the pressure. I mean, I would see her friends, people in like the playground making fun of her. Oh, she doesn't talk, she only makes noises, and those
bullying,
kind of things.
Basically bullying,
yeah, exactly.
in a playground.
In a playground. And I can't say I did so much about the stress. I was stressed. I was quite anxious, and I think the longer time it took, I mean, by the time I was going to deliver the twins, I was really, really stressed out. And I think a part of the anxiety was that the twins are also coming, and I don't know what that's going to be like, and what that impact will have on her as well. So I mean, there were a fair number of challenges, but I think at that point, as I said, when you're just in this whole situation, you don't know, you can't do anything but cope up with it. So I think I did. Again, my husband and I were in it together. Though he, I think, was a little more hopeful, but I, at one point, was just thinking that she's never going to speak, and all of that, and he was taking it more like a, milestone, sort of a developmental delay, and rather than anything major. But I would read a lot about it, so...
Did you accept the fact? Did you make peace with the fact that there is a very, very small possibility she might never speak?
I did not, actually.
Okay.
I did not, and I think that's what kept me going. I just was so determined
she will speak,
that she will be just normal, that I did not accept it. And I think that is one of the reasons whenever to all the centers that I went to, I did not take any of their assessments, and I did not even believe some of the those nursery teachers saying that I think you should take her to a special school and all. And I said, no, I don't think that is the problem. I think I did really strongly believe that I will be able to reverse it. So I just never accepted it. I mean, I did accept the fact that, okay, I'm happy if she's not going to be very academically bright, or, she's not going to be like a studious nerd. I'm fine with that.
But I also believe that, I mean, I think it's a very powerful story. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you were able, to achieve what you wanted to achieve, it's largely, I am sure, because you believed in it.
Yes.
And
yes.
so, like, you come across as a person who, it's not just, it's not just achieving the goal,
right,
or determination. It's not even that. You have this beautiful ability of tuning out from everything which is not helpful.
Right.
So whatever society or people think or say about you or the family, and it's not helpful, you're like, I'm not listening. Yeah. I did notice that this is a particular trait of a personality that actually helps people to go really far in life. Yeah. When you're very selective about what you let into your mind. Yeah. And whatever you feel should not be there, you just don't take it in. Yeah. And that leads to just everything. It creates much happier relationship at home, it healthier kids, more successful career, you're more at peace with yourself. Yeah. Right now, there's just so much information, and we are constantly bombarded.
Right.
Online, offline. Right. It's like what you said, everyone has an opinion about everything. Yeah. And it's really hard to actually stay clean in your mind.
Yes.
And so thank you just for sharing this as an example. And this is like a very practical, down-to-earth example. And your daughter is now 16.
16, and she just did the EBC Everest base camp with me last year. So, you know, the same girl who could not speak is, she's absolutely wonderful kid now.
So when you talk to her, I'm sure she knows the story.
I have
right?
told her now.
So how does she feel about it? What is she saying about
Well,
it?
she always calls me sort of like the warrior mom. So she says that, you know, because I think for the protection of my children, I have taken, and I have fought with a lot of people. So
I mean, you come across as a lioness. I would not mess with you.
So I have walked out of hospital saying, I will not give her that steroid nebulizer. And they have made me write a letter saying, you're taking your child back at your own risk. And I said, yes, I am, but I will not give that. So that's fine. And, you know, I've done those kind of things. I have, so anything which I feel is not right from a mom's perspective, I feel, you know, not that I like to challenge doctors and you know, but I strongly believe in certain things, and I am willing to fight for that. So I do that. So yeah, she does see that in me, and whenever she's not able to, I think, handle something at the end. I mean, recently she told me her swim coach doesn't seem to be very fair, and then, you know, she said, last resort, call my mom. Then I went and spoke to her, and yeah, okay, things are better. So, you know, so yeah, so I think she appreciates it, and she has learned over time to really stand up for yourself and for what you think is right. So I can see that now in her.
If there was something that you would like to say to people out there who perhaps in any situation which are difficult in relation to the children, so anything around motherhood and children and how we manage and deal with that, and people are just going through difficult time at the moment, is there anything you would like to say to them?
I think, yeah, always remain positive. Definitely for those who've gone through it and whether have had success or failure should share their stories, because at this time I didn't have so many people to lean into and you know, who would even basically I felt I could speak to without being judged. So it's just really important to, you know, share it so that others can benefit from it. But I think most importantly for all the mothers and all the parents actually who are dealing with, you know, their children in any situation, I think they just have to, you know, it's very difficult to be patient, but you just have to be patient, you just have to be positive and try to probably use more naturopathy as much as possible as compared to going into the typical commercial sort of things, because then you just get stereotyped in that and then it's very difficult to get out of it. So I still feel today a lot of special kids who go to special schools, if they're actually allowed in regular schools, they'll probably thrive and do better than just being branded as a special child in a special school. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience today, Komal.
Thank you.
And I do believe that, you know, the society has space for everyone. There are just so many people with so many ways how we're developing.
Sure, yes.
And it reminds me, there is this famous, I think it was meme or picture somewhere in general about the school system where it was a tree and there were all the animals around the tree, all types of animals, and then the teacher says, okay, now climb the tree.
Yeah.
And so the animals who were able to climb the tree, which was like monkeys, right, or squirrels,
right.
So they got the A, and let's say, I don't know, lizards or fish or elephant were not able to do that, and they got D's.
Right.
And so the joke was, it's how the school system these days, that it's not always helping actually for children to be brightest and to show their full capabilities.
Right.
It's perhaps something that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely.
It was Komal on YanaTV today, sharing very honestly and vulnerably her experience of being a mom to a daughter who's had a speech delay and how she dealt with that without profiling the child, without antibiotics, without steroids, and without actually listening what could not be done, and instead of focusing what she can do. And the beautiful baby now, an amazing young daughter, doing very well. And so if you are going through any difficult time with your children at the moment, just keep going, believe in yourself, follow your intuition, and I am sure you're going to reach that bright spot that you're looking for. See you next time.
I often think I should open a school.
I think you should. Well, if you do
That'll
that,
be
come back and we talk about it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so
As my retirement career
exactly,
now.
it's your retirement career.